Welcome to episode 1 of Local Women, the Business Pivot, where we speak to really inspiring women across Northern Ireland all about their businesses and the pivots that have happened over the time and how they got to where they are now. I'm delighted to welcome our first guest, Cara Quinn, today. Hi, Cara.
Hello.
Cara is a career and mindset coach and creator of Sparkle. So, Cara, tell us a little bit about who you are now and what your business is now.
So yes, I am a career and mindset coach. So I work with individuals and with businesses to help people really get out of their head so that they can achieve whatever it is they want in their careers and actually ultimately in life as well. So yes, I coach, I do keynote talks, I deliver training, and then on the side I've also had my little passion project, which is called Sparkle, where I've created basically a card deck and journal like to help empower people to believe in themselves. So it's all the little tools and techniques to build self-belief so that people can really develop that confidence. So that is now growing and growing into lots more different elements of Sparkle, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah, amazing. That sounds absolutely fantastic. Thank you for sharing that with us, Cara, and letting us know a little bit about where you are now in 2026. But I know that it wasn't always that way for you, and you've arrived at this place now. But if you can take us back, quite a few years, I think, if you can take us back on your journey to when that pivot started for you, where were you then, and how did you arrive at the place that you are now?
Yeah, I think you're right. It's fair to say, if you'd met me 10 years ago, you'd have been talking to a completely different human, I would say. So I think to go back, I suppose my whole life I was always a bit shy, awkward, didn't really believe I had much of value to say. People pleaser. I had a big worrier, worried about everything, prophet of doom. You know, if you had an opportunity, I'd have found every reason to say no to it. Right. Always worried about everything. And yes, just people please, didn't want to offend anybody, always wanting to keep the peace. And so that kind of just transformed over time with someone who was just living life but really didn't know what they were doing. I was just scared and thinking about everybody else around me, and I never really dug into what I wanted to do for me. So I was kind of drifted through life. No passions, no hobbies, no interests, right from like school right the way through, which is a tough way to be then. So when you sort of say where's the pivot coming from, I had, I suppose, always got in my head that life was going to turn out a certain way, right? And that was, I suppose, my only goal in life, is to think, well, okay, what do people do? They'll get a job, which I did. I worked in recruitment. I did that, and I've done that for over 20 years, which has been brilliant. But beyond that, it's not like it lit me up. And I never really thought about what I wanted, other than I just assumed at some point in life, I was going to get married and have kids and do the whole family thing, as you do. But whenever I turned 40, it was like that classic midlife crisis moment where it's like, hang on a minute, this isn't the way life was meant to work out. I was meant to like have like the house and the white picket fence and all of that stuff. It's like, okay, so what do I want to do with my life now? And I had no clue. I didn't know who I was. So, but rock bottom didn't look nice. Like when I say, yeah, that was my pivot moment, it like was hard. When I turned 40, I was so depressed and so low and so down on myself. Like the talk and the narrative in my head was really, really sad. Like when I think about it now, it always still kind of hurts to think I thought I was the biggest loser on the planet and had nothing to offer, and I was awkward, and yeah, like nobody would want to be with me or have anything to do. And in work, how that translated, people can wear a great mask. Do you know, I find this is not an advocation for alcohol, right? But when I turned 17 and I found it, I created this like pretend identity of like confidence, and I could show up and I could wear this mask and be somebody different. But deep down, it didn't get rid of who I was underneath or who I felt I was. So yes, at 40, it was time to go, okay, this isn't where I want to be, and I couldn't see a way out. I didn't know what life was going to look like that would be different. But that was thankfully the turning point as well.
So what happened then? What you know, that was the turning point, and clearly you said you were in this place where you were at rock bottom, to use your words as well, Cara. You were at rock bottom, you'd hit that place, you turned 40 and thought, the life that I thought I was going to have at this point, which a lot of us do think that way, particularly as women. A lot of us have that dream, if you like, or we're told that that is the norm. And then when it doesn't happen, it's like, bam, I'm a failure. And you're absolutely not, but that's the way that you feel inside. So what did you do? How did you pick yourself back up again? Because you clearly have.
Yeah, like things happened gradually.
Yeah.
So it started with, like I said, that, oh my goodness, this can't go on. And then small little actions, like I think one of the first things that happened to start, because I'm on my mindset coach, so I'm going to talk about rewiring and programming and all, but one of the first things that started to shift me, which I only recognise now from looking back, was my sister arrived. She knew I was in a dark place, and she arrived with this little book of gratitude, essentially. Like, so one sentence a day, make it meaningful, something that positive that happened to you today. And it's weird how like a little tool like that can start you looking differently on every day and every interaction. And it's like, oh, I wonder what my wonderful moment's going to be today. What's going to make the cut today? Yeah. And like gradually you're starting to look for positives, which is all part of the rewiring, which that was one thing. But then I started to read and I started to learn and I started to get into personal development and mindset stuff. I started to look after myself, my health, my body. I've like lost a couple of stones since then. I'm fitter, I'm healthier. So there's been so many like things that have changed. But when I started to read and I applied a tool each time, I started to see the difference bit by bit. It was like, hang on a minute, something's shifting. And then I got into like looking at my belief system and understanding the past and why I act the way I act. And like very quickly, everything changed. And it was like, this is a whole new me. And I looked at the world differently and everything just seemed like an opportunity. Yeah. And working in recruitment, which I started to touch on earlier actually, like I'd always been nervous in like at senior meetings or, you know, with other people that maybe intimidated me or customers, and you'd have been scared all the time of like, oh, please don't talk to me, I'll just be quiet in this meeting and don't look. But all of a sudden again, I started to realise this is different. I was speaking up more, I was putting my hand up for things, but in the interview room, because I was obviously interviewing lots and lots of people, I could see people coming in with exactly the same problems that I had. Like not able to, like looked brilliant on paper. Like they had it all going for them. I might have even known them if they were internal candidates, but could they share again how good they were and the value that they bring? And it wasn't coming through, and I knew again that they had more to give, but they didn't believe in themselves enough to get the panel to believe in them. And I thought, well, hang on a minute, I'm changing my life in real time. So new home, new car, all the things that got a little dog, all the stuff that I would have automatically said no to, putting my hand up for things. I went, if I can see the changes this work is doing for me, I can absolutely help other people do the same and see that, hang on, this is all in our heads and we can fix it and we can rewire.
And that's so interesting, the power of those shifts. And like you said, which is really, I think a really, really important point for our listeners, is those intentional small habits that might seem tiny in the grand scheme of life at the time, but actually you build those and build those and build those and they compound and they build up and they become normal life. They become habits, they become routine, they become consistent, they just become things that you do every day. Like we get up out of our beds every day, we brush our teeth every day, we brush our hair every day. You know, they're all habits that we've built since childhood because someone taught us how to do that. So being able to apply that then to your personal life and your health journey and your mindset journey, and then apply that in work as well. But then to shift and recognise that the people that you were interviewing in those interview rooms, actually, I can help them.
Yeah, that's it.
And was that then the catalyst for you changing to what you do now in terms of that career and mindset coaching?
No, absolutely. It all came from there because I'd never had this passion. I didn't know, I fell into recruitment, as they say. Do you know, people tend to fall into their careers, and that's exactly what I'd done. But now, being passionate about what I was doing with my life, seeing the changes, seeing how it could impact other people, all of a sudden my day-to-day work got even like really dull, and I just was like, it's not lighting me up, and there's more I can do. So it's like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna take the biggest risk of my life because I've never taken a risk before.
Yeah.
Do you know, at this point, it was like I played safe, risk averse. And I went, well, I'll do it. I'm going to leave this well-paid corporate job. Safe. Yeah. And do something that my heart is honestly calling me to do.
And now that you're there, so fast forward to 2026, and now that you've gone through that journey and you've taken that shift and you've taken that risk that you've said and actually said yes. Yeah. Now, I'm sure at the time when you said yes, Cara, you were like, I have no idea how to do this, but I'm going to figure it out on the way because I am really passionate about this. Yeah. So you took that one risk. I'm sure you've had to take many more risks. Can you tell us about a few more risks you've had to take over the last few years since you started on that journey?
I think honestly, well, just to go back to the first risk of doing it, and I'm a career coach, so I coach people in all spaces. And it's funny, I would never coach somebody to do it the way that I did it. It's like lessons learned. But it was good. I think it was what I needed to just do it. So I kind of went without a plan. I thought it was going to be as simple as, okay, I've got this really good idea. I know what I'm doing. And I started off very much focused on my area of expertise in terms of interviews. I know that inside out. I can feel credible about that. I'm not sure how much I want to lean in on the mindset stuff just yet, but people will know me for the recruitment side. So I lent in on that. And that's how I launched my business. And I had no backup plan. My backup plan was I'll always get another job if I need to. Okay. Right. So I don't think anything really prepares you for setting up your own business to go, oh, when you're used to that and like that monthly paycheck, and even though you're doing everything you love, all of a sudden that's not coming into the account evermore. It's like a whole new skill set you got to learn. I think that was the biggest shock and surprise because when you're setting up your own business, I was naive getting started, and I thought I'll throw up a few social posts, people will come fall, and it'll all flow, and it's not quite.
Everyone will want what I have to give.
Yeah, and I don't need to do that much to get it, and it's fine. I'll just social post like I do interview coaching. Come. Yeah. No, it doesn't quite work that way. No, it doesn't. So, okay, that was a huge risk, but since then it's like, oh, okay, maybe one of the big ones, and it doesn't seem like a risk maybe to other people, but to me, because my mindset journey is a work in progress, I'm always having to have a word with myself and look inside and go, what's going on here? So being brave enough to put myself out there as a mindset coach. How am I going to rebrand this and say, this is what I do, and telling my story. Each time I've done it, this is another first. So I've done it before, it still fills me with nerves. Yeah. Even there a moment ago when I went, okay, here's where my rock bottom was, that's like, oh gosh, am I going to say this? But you know what, it gets easier and easier each time, and it resonates with people, people get it. There's nothing unusual about my story at all. Everybody's the same, everybody's got a different version or some sort of story that they need to work through, and I think we all hide behind this mask of like, oh no, I've got it all covered, I'm perfect and I know what I'm doing and my business is perfect, and actually we don't. And I think sometimes people need to hear that we don't all have it sorted out. And that there's kind of power and comfort in knowing that, I think. Yeah,
and I think it's camaraderie as well, that you're not alone, that most of us actually at some point of our lives feel the same. We don't know it all, and we don't have it all going on. Thank you so much, Cara, for sharing your story. And before we finish, I just want to ask you, if one of our listeners or many of our listeners are sitting here today and they're thinking, I'm in a similar position, I feel at that rock bottom, I don't really know what direction I want to take with my career, I want to do something different, but I don't feel I'm passionate about anything, what one piece of advice would you give to them?
To just stop, think about what's going on, like how you feel and what you think, and essentially what you believe, it all sort of flows, is leading to your life. And you don't have to believe what you think. You don't have to feel the way you feel. I think for me, having gone through 40 years not knowing there was a different way to think and feel, and now going, oh gosh, it's like the blinkers come off. So stop and get aware, challenge yourself. You don't have to believe that voice of, I'm a loser, I can't do it, I'm too young, I'm too old, sure, nobody would be interested in what I have to say. Whatever it is for you, it's just your subconscious trying to protect you, keep you in the known and in the comfort zone. And it's only when you start to shine a light on that going, okay, I can see you, but it's a thought and it's not real. And there's another way of being, and I'm just going to baby step my way out of this. Like, you don't have to do it all at once. Yeah. I didn't do it all at once. Like, I'm 48, turning 49 later this year. This has been a work in progress. But you know what? It's been fun. So, like, don't take the world so heavy. Just enjoy the ride as well.
Oh, fabulous advice. Thank you, Cara. And you're absolutely right. This for you is not the end either. You know, and it's been fun and it's a journey and it continues to be a journey. You're also now writing a book. So we'll have you back in the future to talk about your book as well and when it launches, which should be fabulous to hear from you then. Thank you. Just to leave you with one note just on how our listeners can find you. So social media, websites, let us know.
Yeah, so website is caraquinn.me. And the Cara Quinn on LinkedIn and caraquinn.me on Instagram as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time today, Cara. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gayle.